I need the molars as I cannot be leashed. Alright, welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Luciano McCormick. Lucky to some, unlucky to others. I am an Irish Italian American, best of both worlds. And I'm also, as ever, divorced. But I will say last time I was in this fair room, we crafted the best, most successful dating profile this side of the school, folks. I have been in close proximity to 3 different broads in like 2 months. It's a pretty good ratio. But like Icarus, I have flown too close to the sun, and I am fallen. The sun in this case is the siren of fine wines and liquors on Girard Avenue. More commonly known as Deborah. Now Deborah, she seemed to me to be an age-appropriate dynamo if ever I saw one. And tall, real tall, 6'1". Folks, I like them tall. I like a broad who's got a stride that's equal to 3 of my steps. It's a lot to look up to. It's like being a dachshund galloping next to a walking gazelle. It's good for the heart. So Deborah seemed to me to be perfect. So I overlooked the key red flag I often do not overlook, which is unfortunate for Deborah, but she was born, raised, and remains in Fishtown. Exactly, folks. It's because me and Fishtown, we got a complex history. On account of the fact that the last time I was up there was in '98. And I took a police hose to the left ear, and I ain't been right since, okay? I give that space, it gives me space. But I thought for Deborah, I'll make an exception, alright? So we have some great repartee on the phone. We make an occasion to go get espresso and a pastry. I find one of the only pastry shops in Fishtown that serves Italians, and we go. She gets a meringue, I get a suavitel. Good choices all around. But it's off to a bad start, because we see each other, and one of the first things she says to me is, "You're shorter in person." Now, folks, I'm a keen 5'7" and damn near proud of it, alright? And I didn't say this, but if you're a 6'1" broad, ain't you looking down like 90% of your day? Like, what's a few extra inches, you know? But like a short, wet duck's back, I let the words fall off my back, you know? But later on, she goes after me again. She says, "So how long have you been balding?" I said, "Where's this coming from?" She says, "You got a hat on in all your profile pictures. You got a hat on now, you're balding." Now, folks, the reason I got this here hat on is because I got real strong hair. Real fierce hair. Cannot be tamed by comb nor gel. This keeps it all under wraps. And in my opinion, Deborah, seeing the top of my head, that's a third date activity, if ever I heard one. Alright? So I decide, tolerance, similar to articulation, is something I'm working on. So I change the subject. I say, "What are your musical interests?" I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan. I'm part of the 0.015% of Sinatra listeners on Spotify. Especially impressive considering I do not own a smartphone, folks. She says, "I don't really like Sinatra." Now, granted, is this a strike against her moral character? Absolutely. But I will say I have 2 friends who do not enjoy Sinatra, and we are adequately close. So I'm open-minded. The problem is how she ends the sentence. She ends it saying, "I prefer Michael Bublé." Mr. fucking Bubbles. That's who she prefers. I say to her, "My hackles, my wet duck back, gone with the wind. My hackles are raised. It's not looking good for Deborah." I say to her, "No wonder you got a meringue. You obviously like white air." Because that's what Michael Bublé is. What I'm trying to say, Deborah, is that he's a fucking hack. She throws back, she says, "Sinatra was a bum." Exactly. I put down my suavitel. I rise from my chair. Better a bum than a fucking hack. Thank you for the 37 minutes we've had together. It's been a delight. Have a great rest of your day. I pay the bill, because I'm a gentleman, and I go back to South Philadelphia. Thinking nothing of it, mind you. Next morning, I'm in the midst of my workout routine, which consists of me in my basement, moving 50 cinder blocks from one side of the room to the other. I follow this up, of course, with a 30-minute ballroom dance routine on VHS. And I gotta say, ever since I've been doing this routine, I've been grapevining around those police hoses ever since. It's good times. So in between my Cuban breaks, which is syncopated rhythm, mind you, complex, I get a call from my friend Gil. Now Gil, he works at the Fine Wines and Liquors on 11th Street, and he only calls me when I got a whiskey shipment in. So I pick up. I say, Gil, what gives? He says, you go out with a broad by the name of Deborah the other day. I said, I did indeed. He said, she's got it in for you. She's trying to get you banned from every Fine Wines and Liquors in Philadelphia. I said, those are bold steps. How's she doing on that front? He said, I talked it down. You're just banned from the Girard Avenue location. Now, there's no skin off my nose on account I ain't never going back to Fishtown at this point in my life. But when someone makes a move on you, broads included, you have to respond, all right? And for me, I thought about for a second, I thought, I got 5 glorious dogs. Why don't we go for a real long walk up to Girard? Make a point, But I thought, it's 2023, I have new tactics. And I ain't got many friends in Fishtown, but I got a lot of leverage and a lot of powerful friends in one of the staples and pillars of our Philadelphia community. I speak, of course, of Acme. I got a lot of friends at Acme's all over. You ever notice how an Acme is everywhere in Philadelphia? All over the place. So I make a few calls, and I'm happy to say that as of this morning, Deborah is barred from every Acme in Philadelphia. So have fun going to Stop and Shop. Have fun going to, God forbid, Whole Foods. And buying your potatoes or whatever the McFood that you buy like Fishtown is. Because, folks, there's other fish in the sea, but they sure as hell ain't in Fishtown. All right?